So we did 3 activities. The first one was building the story by repeating part of the previous person's phrase or saying. The second one was the shape line activity, where you made a shape, copied and changed it by a limb, kept that moving along. And the third activity was the game of snap with a partner, and we had 2 rounds of that, 1 to 10, and then the animals round. So you've done improvisation through quite a range of modalities, and we want to see if you noticed on reflection, or even while you're doing it, any of these things happening or occurring. So where, if at all, did these concepts appear in the activities? Letting go, as in flexing the plan, having a go, and joining the anti-perfectionist league, not having to be perfect in what you did. Where did that appear in any of the activities?
The snap game, letting go, made it work much more easily. And I think in the movement as well, you didn't have to be perfectly copied to make it work.
Yes, it didn't have to be perfect for it to work. And in the snap game, letting go of what?
Thinking.
Of thinking, just being in the moment and seeing what came out. Fantastic. Any other thoughts on let go?
I think we flexed the plan.
Yeah.
Because I think with the story side, because there was 2, I mean, you might kind of start to think, I've got an idea in my head about the story, but as you swap from person to person, you've got to just react to it as opposed to having some idea where the story is going.
Yes. You may well have had a story in your mind, a sailing ship, it's going to go here, but if your partner's not telling that exact same story you had in mind, then flexing the plan is the only way that you're going to be able to keep that going. How about I for inhabit the moment? That's about being here and now, being focused in your attention, whether that's direct attention or a peripheral awareness or a mix of them.
Then you can't worry too much.
You can't worry too much. I have to tell my mother.
If you're going to get those cards, you've got to pay attention to what you're going to listen to your partners when they're coming up with your word. You've got to be in that moment.
In the game of snap, being in the moment is the only way to take the card set. Yes. Be more alert. What about the being in the moment or being here and now in the other activities?
Totally, you can't do anything unless you need to have your whole brain engaged in what you're doing. You can't be thinking about the laundry later.
Yeah, you lose it, don't you? If your mind wanders off for a while, you either lose the story or the snap or the movement, and you can bring it back again. It's quite natural for attention to wander off. But in order to continue to fulfill the requirements of the activity or to get immersed in the activity, you've got to get your full body support, body and brain.
In the shape lines, you only get your offer like an instant before you take the next move.
Yes,
so it forces you into the moment.
You don't know what's going to come, so you can't plan for that. It's only what's given to you in the immediate moment, before it's your immediate turn to go next. Indeed. Freedom within structure. That there is a structure and that there's freedom within this structure. How did that manifest itself?
It did in the movement one, certainly, because that was freedom, but it was definitely structured as well.
What was the structure?
The structure was with it moving around, and we had an instruction to do.
So you had an instruction which gave you the structure,
that gave us the structure,
which was moving around, and it had this progressive movement.
And the copying was a structure as well, wasn't it? You
And
had something to start from.
Yes. So identifying the structure, you did that even without conceptualising it. You were aware of it by doing it. And where's the freedom, for example, in the movements?
because you could change it.
You could change it. Any move at all.
Yeah.
And some extraordinary moves were made. Embrace uncertainty. How did that come out?
Finding a chair in the way and then...
There it was, part of it. Like part of the furniture. Yes. And did you embrace it or did you curse it? Some of each, I heard. Which is natural, that if you're wishing that the room was empty and it turns out not to be, then you've got that choice of bewailing the fate or going with it. And eventually you go with it because the movements were continuing. So there's some embracing of uncertainty, perhaps a reluctant embrace at times. It says here, maintain safety. So it was important you didn't just go crashing into chairs or each other, and you didn't. Seek emergence. What does emergence mean in this context?
It means, I don't know, I think it means what is becoming.
Yes. And you don't know what's going to become of the story, of the moves, or the sequence of cards in the snap until it happens. And you can't know. It's unpredictable and will emerge. And then the emerging thing is the thing that you have co-created. And trade control for influence. So we're giving up control, for example, of the story, and we're trading that, not for nothing, but for influence. Every time it's your turn, or by your response to your partner, you're influencing the shape of the thing that will then emerge. Play to play. Did you play to win or play to play? Or a bit of each?
Play to play.
Play to play. You're an experienced improviser. Always play to play.
Play to play. It's
There
way
wasn't
easier.
really any winning, was there?
Well, one of the games was set up with winning
Snap,
suggested,
yeah.
snap.
Yeah.
And playing to win is I've got all the cards. But that's actually meaningless, isn't it?
Well, in terms of animals, I mean, how many cards did you have?
I have no idea. You have a limitless number, couldn't you? I don't have a limitless number of 1 to 10.
And with an imaginary pack, I mean, in a real pack, you've only got 4 sevens. So once you know that 3 of them have gone, you know you're not going to get a snap on a 7. So
You can calculate what's disappeared in a real pack.
That's
Trickier in this game.
Instinct takes over there.
Instinct takes over.
Yeah, because you know, we've always learned Snap as a game that you kind of play, you play to win because that's how it builds.
Yes.
And so the fact that you're playing Snap, even though it's imaginary, you forget about the fact that you improvise and you just go back to playing Snap.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that kids play to win though, even though it's designed to win, but I think kids play to play.
They'll find the playfulness in games
Yeah.
as well.
I don't think most kids, they still, if they don't like, they play.
But what I'm saying, maybe it's not play to win, but it's play to, the instinct is to call out Snap. You know, when you spot Bob on it, you're not trying to necessarily win. I suppose it's more your instinct is to listen out to that because that's the rule of the game.
Yeah. Okay.
I suspect it's both. And that play to play vanishes into play to win when you professionalise sports. Footballers say the only thing that mattered in this game was the result. They've stopped playing to play, even though it's a game. The game has become so important or significant or meaningful beyond whatever it was designed for that the play to play is gone. It's a bizarre thing. It does happen. They're playing a different game of who's going to be the champion. They're no longer playing the lovely game with the ball. Play to learn as well is another possibility within that. So in the Snap game, what did we hear? What was the energy level in the room?
it's quite. I was thinking actually just that in a game of Snap with cards, it's a visual game, isn't it?
Yes.
You're watching in the imaginary pack. You're listening and you're listening and you're speaking because you've probably got 2 cards to handle at the same time. So it's it changes from what Ian was talking about with the dynamic of that into a different sense of game. So it did feel different in a way, and it became more about how you spoke and what how you came across to your partner and how.
I had a lot of energised calling, sort of carol at the beginning, getting into it, and a lot of laughter. Of enjoying what you came up with that surprised you, what your partner came up with that surprised you, or who was first to respond to the snap, or how amazing it was that you could avoid snapping for so long. There was a pleasure in the playing. And playing is pleasurable. It's Brian Sutton Smith who says the opposite of play is not work, it's depression. Accept and build. We talked about this a bit as we went along, but for the record now, how did that manifest itself?
Particularly in the first two activities.
More in the first two. So in the storytelling, the accept and build is accepting the partner's line and then adding yours. And we have exactly the same structure physically, correlated with the verbal way, with the two parents being in the line game. Accept and build, yes and. Short turn taking. Where was that?
Snap.
Snap.
In
all of them.
Yeah.
All of them. We're not inviting anyone to be on the spot for a long time and having to keep things going on their own. And that's not just taking the pressure off the person, it's saying that the creativity that we're looking for in emergence actually comes from the taking of turns. That's what's building the flow and the newness of what's being co-created. And spotting successes, using what's there, making your partner look good. How are you building on what worked and editing off or letting go of what didn't work in the activities?
Well, with the movement one, you were, first of all, you were copying your partner, so that there was that using what was there in that one. But then, in terms of what wasn't working, if you had to develop your position so that you didn't make it more difficult as it goes along.
So if a move was too awkward for you or was creating too much awkwardness for the next person, that awkwardness had to be let go in favour of the bit that people could comfortably adopt. That's a really nice illustration of dropping what wasn't working and keeping what was working in a very natural, fluid way.
And also now when you did get a snap,
Yes.
it's making you feel good about
Yes.
it, don't you? Really, it's really good.
We've got a snap and come up with the same thing. So spotting that and acknowledging it as a celebration of that success. Any other comments on any of those aspects? Or anything else that was happening that we haven't mentioned that is significant?